Jill Scott has just made an unexpected announcement that has left everyone in shock, and people are still trying to wrap their heads around it. The queen of neo-soul, known for hits like Golden and the heartfelt A Long Walk, has unveiled a significant collaboration that has the entire music industry buzzing. She has teamed up with Kendrick Lamar for her new song titled Don't Play, and fans are eagerly speculating about how this partnership came to be. This isn't merely a standard feature or an accidental studio leak, it's a deliberate and strategic choice. Jill Scott is proving that she remains a formidable presence and isn't afraid to shake things up in surprising ways that only become apparent once you listen to the music. The announcement alone caused a stir on social media, catching everyone off guard. Longtime fans of Jill, who have cherished her smooth vocals and poetic lyrics, are now curious to see how Kendrick's intense, raw energy from Compton will merge with her soulful sound. Welcome to Celebrity Rap Life, where the red carpets never roll up and the spotlight never fades. The rewards are legendary because in Celebrity Rap Life, every downfall can become a comeback, and every headline tells a deeper story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next. But if you know anything about either of these artists, you know they don't do anything without a purpose. They don't make moves just for clout or headlines. When Jill Scott steps into the studio, she's creating art that touches your soul and makes you feel things you didn't even know were buried inside you. When Kendrick Lamar picks up a microphone, he's about to dissect society, pull apart your perspective, and leave you thinking about life in ways that make you uncomfortable. So putting these two together isn't just interesting, it's downright dangerous in the best possible way. The track is called Don't Play, and that title alone tells you everything you need to know about the energy they're bringing. This isn't some sweet love song or a mellow vibe you put on during Sunday brunch. The name suggests something edgy, something with teeth, something that demands respect and won't tolerate any games or fake behavior. Jill Scott has always been known for keeping it real in her music, talking about love and heartbreak and empowerment with a kind of honesty that cuts deep. She never sugarcoats anything. She tells you exactly how it is, whether you're ready to hear it or not. And Kendrick, that man doesn't know how to hold back. He's never been the type to play it safe or water down his message for radio play or mainstream appeal. He speaks truth even when that truth makes people uncomfortable, even when it challenges the status quo, even when it puts him in the line of fire. So when you combine Jill's soulful honesty with Kendrick's sharp, uncompromising lyricism, you're looking at something that could redefine what collaboration means in 2026. This isn't just two artists jumping on a track together for streams or chart positions. This is a statement. This is a message. This is about to be a moment that people talk about for years. Nobody expected Jill Scott to make this kind of move right now. She's been relatively quiet on the new music front, popping up here and there for special performances and reminding people why she's a legend every time she opens her mouth. But a full collaboration with Kendrick Lamar in 2026? That's bold. That's risky. That's the kind of creative decision that either becomes iconic or falls flat on its face with no in-between. But knowing both of their track records, the odds are heavily in favor of this being something extraordinary. Jill has never been afraid to experiment with her sound or push boundaries within her genre. She's worked with different producers, explored various styles, and always managed to stay true to herself while evolving as an artist. Kendrick has built his entire career on doing the unexpected, dropping albums that sound nothing like what came before, and challenging listeners to keep up with his vision. He's won Pulitzer Prizes and Grammy Awards, not by following trends, but by setting them. So when these two creative powerhouses decide to link up, you better believe they're cooking up something that's going to hit different. The streets are already speculating about what Don't Play is going to sound like. Some people think it's going to be a smooth neo-soul track with Kendrick dropping a verse that adds edge and social commentary to Jill's message about relationships or self-worth. Others believe it might lean more into Kendrick's world, with harder production and Jill's vocals floating over the top like she's been doing hip-hop features her whole life. The truth is, nobody really knows, and that's what makes this whole situation so exciting. The mystery, the anticipation, the fact that two artists from seemingly different worlds are about to show everyone that good music has no boundaries. Jill Scott's fanbase spans generations. She's got the older crowd who remember when she first came on the scene in the early 2000s, blessing us with Who is Jill Scott? Volume 1, and changing the game for female vocalists in neo-soul. She's also got younger fans who discovered her music through their parents or through viral moments on social media, where her songs become soundtracks to life's most emotional moments. Kendrick's reach is equally massive, but in a different way. He's got the hip-hop heads who respect bars and storytelling. He's got the mainstream listeners who know Humble and All Right by heart. He's got the critics who analyze every line he writes like it's scripture. Bringing these two fan bases together is either genius or chaos, and probably a little of both. What makes this collaboration even more interesting is the timing. We're in 2026, and the music industry looks completely different than it did even 5 years ago. Streaming has changed everything about how artists release music and connect with fans. Social media has made it possible for songs to blow up overnight based on a TikTok trend or a viral moment. But at the same time, there's a hunger for substance, for music that actually means something beyond catchy hooks and dance challenges. People are tired of the surface-level content that floods the airwaves. They want depth. They want authenticity. They want artists who aren't afraid to be vulnerable and real. That's exactly what Jill Scott has always delivered, and that's exactly what Kendrick Lamar has built his legacy on. So this collaboration feels perfectly timed, even though it feels completely unexpected. It's giving the people what they didn't know they needed, but what they've been craving all along. The announcement of this collaboration raises questions about what else might be coming. Is this just a single, or is it part of a larger project? Is Jill Scott working on a new album and Kendrick is one of several featured artists? Is Kendrick about to drop something of his own and this is a strategic move to build momentum? Or is this a one-time collaboration that exists purely because two artists respected each other's craft and wanted to create something together? The lack of information is driving people crazy in the best possible way. Everyone's refreshing their social media feeds, waiting for more details, more teasers, maybe a snippet of the song or a behind-the-scenes video from the studio session. The anticipation is building like pressure in a cooker, and when this track finally drops, it's going to explode across every platform imaginable. What's really fascinating is thinking about how Jill and Kendrick even connected on this creative level. These aren't artists who run in the same circles on a daily basis. Jill's world is soulful, intimate, rooted in R&B traditions and poetic expression. Kendrick's world is raw, gritty, shaped by the streets of Compton and the realities of Black life in America. But when you dig deeper, you realize they're not that different at all. Both of them use their music as a form of storytelling that goes beyond entertainment. Both of them care deeply about their craft and refuse to compromise their artistic vision for commercial success. Both of them have dedicated fan bases who trust them to deliver quality every single time. Both of them understand the power of music to heal, to challenge, to inspire, and to change perspectives. So maybe this collaboration makes perfect sense. Maybe it's been waiting to happen and we just didn't know it yet. Maybe Jill and Kendrick recognized something in each other that the rest of us are only now starting to see. The title, Don't Play, keeps echoing in your head because it's so direct and unapologetic. It's a warning, it's a declaration, it's a line in the sand that says, if you're coming into this space, you better come correct, because games won't be tolerated. You can imagine Jill's voice delivering that message with the kind of authority and soul that makes you sit up straight and pay attention. You can imagine Kendrick breaking down exactly what happens to people who play games, who aren't genuine, who try to manipulate or deceive. The synergy between their perspectives could create something that hits on multiple levels, speaking to relationships, to the music industry, to society as a whole, to anyone who's ever had to deal with people who weren't keeping it real. This track has the potential to become an anthem for anyone who's tired of the nonsense, who's ready to demand authenticity and respect in every area of their life. As the release date approaches, you can feel the energy building across the internet and in real-life conversations. People are already planning their reactions, getting ready to dissect every lyric, every vocal run, every production choice. Music critics are sharpening their pens, preparing to write think pieces about what this collaboration means for neo-soul, for hip-hop, for the future of cross-genre work. DJs are clearing space in their sets, knowing this is going to be one of those records that demands to be played loud and on repeat. And fans, the most important piece of this whole equation, are simply ready to experience whatever magic Jill Scott and Kendrick Lamar created when they stepped into that studio together. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is really about. Two incredible artists pushing each other to new heights, creating something that neither of them could have made alone, and sharing that gift with a world that desperately needs more music with soul, substance, and something real to say. Don't Play is coming, and the streets are watching, waiting, ready to witness what happens when a queen and a king decide to build something legendary together. This story is far from over, and the truth is still unfolding. I want to hear what you think. Drop your take in the comments. And if you don't want to miss the next twist, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of what's coming next.